Infidelity is not the major reason why most marriages fail. Hello, my name is Ifeoma and popularly known as Ife Diadem. Today I'm going to take you through 8 reasons why most marriages fail. A lot of persons think that marriages do fail because of infidelity, because of unfaithfulness, but that is not the case. One of the major reasons, or the top reason why most marriages fail today, is communication problem. You see, communication is very important in every human existence. And you know what communication is, right? The ability to express one's feeling, ideas, views, opinion, using verbal words. Now, communication problem has been the reason why most marriages fail. Now, I've tried to categorize it into 3. The first one is lack of expression of feelings. Lack of expression of feelings has caused a lot of problems in so many couples' lives today. What do I mean by lack of expression of feeling? In terms of sex, we know the status of sex in a marital life, isn't it? Sex is very, very important. Sex is one of the ingredients God has used to, beautify marriage. And sex is one of the things that tie husband and wife together, that make them to be connected with each other. But a lot of persons have failed in expressing their feelings on sexual life, and that has become a lot of problem. I'm going to give you this instance. As we differ, we have different ways we want to be treated sexually. Yes. A lot of persons, a lot of couples are not satisfied, and they don't know a way, or they don't want to air their feelings to their partners as to what they want, how they want to be treated in bed, the kind of, touches they want to get them the feelings that they want. Now, lack of expression of this feeling will lead to, conflict. It will lead to withdrawal. You see couples tend to withdraw from each other because they don't like the feeling they get when they get intimate. So communication in this area is very, very important. You have to go on those days where women just stay and say, I am a woman, so man should be the one to come to me. My husband should be the one to come to me. I don't want to go to him. They might see me as a spoiled lady, a spoiled woman, or things like that, whatever. But these days, it is important. If you have not been doing it, learn to be expressive when it comes to sex, when it comes to feelings, how you want to be treated. When you're getting intimate with your husband is very important, and it has damaged a lot of marriages today because they lack expression of sexual feelings. The second one is lack of expression of offense. A lot of us tend to endure our spouse's excesses rather than expressing ourselves about how we feel about the way they treat us. We tend to bottle it up, and it keeps hurting us, causing us pain, causing you pain deep down in your heart, and you don't do anything about it because of that communication problem. It can go a long way in destroying your marriage. You have to always communicate. You have to always tell your partner, tell your spouse, this thing you did to me, I don't like it. I don't like the way you treated me the other day. If you don't say something out, if you don't air your feeling out, how will the person next to you know what you're passing through? You have to say it out. Say it out at least. Some of you may not want to talk because you don't want your spouse or your partner to see that you're complaining too much or to say you're nagging. But this is different from expressing when you're offended. You express it. It will help your partner to know who you are, to know how to relate with you in a better way. Then the third one is lack of expression of wants and privacy. Even though we are married, even though a lot of couples are married, they still need time they need their private time. Now you have to learn how to express this. Your partner may want you to gist with her at the moment, or do this with him, or do this for him. You should always express that you want to do something else for yourself. You're not being selfish, of course you're not. You need a private time to yourself. I think this usually happens amongst the ladies. They always want to be around their man, hovering around their man all the time. Even if you do that, please learn to give your partner some, privacy at times. It helps save the marriage. It helps build what we call respect. Now, lack of this expression can also crash marriage. If you don't know it today. Second of the major reasons why most marriages fail today is marrying for the wrong reasons. Do you know that a lot of couples who are no longer together today married for the wrong reasons? How? There are different ways one can marry for the wrong reasons. Now, I've highlighted this in 4 categories. The first one is marrying for money. There are men out there who prefer, marrying a girl from a well-to-do family. A lot of people have made that mistake, and today they are divorced. Marrying for the sake of money. Marrying because a girl's family is highly connected. You feel that when you marry their daughter, they will connect you, they will give you a job, they will secure a job for you, they will, provide business opportunity for you and all that. And by the time you go into that marriage, you'll find out that you have lost your voice. You won't have voice anymore. You'll be controlled. You'll be living on somebody who is controlled, just like a controlled puppy. You always want to dance to the tune of your wife. You'll always be the one to tell you what to do, how to behave, how to eat, what to do at home. You will lose your voice in the family. And a lot of guys are so egoistic. They don't want to be controlled like that. They don't want somebody to put them under their feet. So when this kind of thing happens, I know it doesn't happen, all the time, but in most cases, most men that went for the family, well-to-do family, as in that married for the wrong reason, the reason of, getting opportunity from your in-law, most of them, they never last in their marriage. It's either their marriage crashed, or they are separated, or they are divorced. But it leads to failed marriage. Now let me tell you the story. There's this guy that is very close to a friend of mine, and he recently divorced from his wife, and he told this friend of mine what's ensued between him and his wife that led to divorce. And he said that they used him, they overused him. They overused him. Is it because of the job opportunity they provided for him that this girl did virtually nothing at home? That she doesn't know how to cook? She can't even wash her underwears. She doesn't do any laundry. Even to bathe sometimes, he will be the one to beg her to bathe. That the girl is so dirty. He said, is that how rich people's children behave? That he regretted marrying her. And to top it, they control him. Any little thing, any little misunderstanding or disagreement they will have, the girl will pick up her phone and call the mom and report whatever happened between she and her husband to the mother, and they will always interfere. He said that the worst of it all is that they always interfere with their marriage. Why must it be? That they don't allow him to talk, that anytime he wants to talk, he will tell him to shut up, that they made him. How many guys want to be treated that way? So next time, if you are still a single guy looking for the girl to date or who to marry, please don't consider that as a reason. Marry for the genuine reason, which is love. Marry somebody that you're compatible with. Marry somebody you can be with. Marry somebody that you can grow your future with, that you can grow a family with. Not somebody that will give you connection, not somebody that will give you a job and all that. Marrying for that reason is very wrong, and it usually leads to divorce. What about the ladies? The ladies who believe in marrying the already made man. That's how they say it. Already made man. I want to marry a man who is already made. I don't want to go into any man's house and start suffering. I don't want to go into any man's house and start from the scratch. That is why we women, we have to be industrious. You have to learn how to fend for yourself even before you get married. You have to learn how to live a sustainable life, so that even if you get into a marriage, you have something that you can call your own. It gives pride. It gives a lot of pride and confidence. But you who sit around there looking for a ready-made man, most of the ladies who tried it are suffering from divorce today. They are living a life of a divorcee. Money is not everything, Money is not everything. You think that it's only money that can guarantee your happiness in marriage is wrong. It's not true at all. There are a lot of things that guarantee happiness in marriage. And first of all of them is love. Love. You know, all the rich men out there, there's common characteristics that most of them have. They believe that they've made it all, that they are the Lord of themselves. Nobody can, tell them what to do, how to live their life. They are always the one in charge. They want to be in authority, and they are insolent, they are arrogant, they are disrespectful, they are inconsiderate. A lot of them don't have conscience. They don't have the human feeling. Forgive me if I give these characteristics, but not everybody is like that. But I'm telling you, 90% of these already made men are like that. So most of the ladies that have made the mistake of marrying for that reason, marrying an already made man, tends to suffer from rejection, abandonment, unrespected, and all that. And before you know it, when they are just fed up with everything, they will just go for divorce. That is it. The second one is when you're preparing to get married and eventually you got a red ticket. Do you know what I mean by a red ticket? The person you are intending to marry, to get married to, started behaving in a strange way. He started on time to show you his real color. And you're saying that this is something you cannot endure. Or maybe he did something very painful. Very painful. He did something to lose your trust. And you know that it's not going to be easy, to put this aside. Trust is very, very important in any relationship. And once that trust is abused, it is very, very hard. Very, very hard to get it back. Love is real. But trust is also important. Yes, you can love somebody without trusting the person. But that love is not always, peaceful. So you're preparing to get married, and eventually you got a red light to prove that this man you want to get married to is not going to work out well as your husband. But because of society, you want to please society, and everybody believes that it's just a matter of time. Everything will pass, and both of you will live happy ever after. And you decide to go ahead with the marriage. Do you know that when you go into this marriage, you will not have peace? A lot of persons, whatever I'm saying here, I'm saying it based on experience, based on interaction that I've had with people. This is most divorcees. That's their reason. They say, this man started behaving this way, but I ignored it. This man started behaving this way on time, but my mother encouraged me to go on, that there's no problem, that men are always like that he's going to change with time. And you know that you're this kind of person that cannot bear this kind of thing, and you went ahead to do into the marriage. Before you know it, the marriage will crash. Another reason is when you also notice that this person is not the kind of person you really want to marry. With the qualities you're seeing at the moment, I don't want to be with this kind of person. But instead of quitting the marriage on time, you now start considering all the expenses you've done, lack of intimacy. Now, because your wife might be unwell at the moment, she might be having a mood swing, and you may think that she doesn't want to give you attention that you need, and because of that you might start complaining. And that's the major thing that usually leads to men going out to get somebody who can satisfy their sexual pleasure, and before you know it, you're stepping out on your wife, and it will start causing conflict. Another one goes around the man. Guys, when they are broke, when they have, if you're a wife here, have you noticed that whenever your husband has a financial challenge, or wherever he's broke, he tends to lose interest in anything romantic, romance, or sex? He tends to lose interest, because whenever they are broke, they tend to lose every desire of fun or pleasure they want. Their mind is focused on how to, get something moving in their pockets. So because of that, you're worried. You may think that your husband does not see you attractive again, or maybe he's cheating on you. He doesn't want you again. He's not interested. You're not romantic. You're not sexually attracted to him again. And before you know it, it will start causing misunderstanding, disagreement, conflicts, nagging. We come in, and before you know it, the marriage will start crashing. In addition to sexual attraction, sexual intimacy, couple need to be physically connected. You need to constantly have this physical contact with each other. To be the physical contact, like goodbye kisses, welcome hugs. Sometimes when your wife is doing something in the kitchen, you can just go touch her, play with her, touch her playfully or romantically. There's something that my husband usually do. Whenever he see me walking around the house, he'll just run quietly, tap my butt the way I won't notice. He'll just pick me on the way. And this kind of acts from the spouse gets one to be connected, to be intimately connected. A lot of guys are not intimately connected with their wives. Now let me tell you the story. Yes, there's this friend of mine. I like interacting with people, gists. From there you learn a lot of experience, a lot of things that you will be wondering, is this are they really happening? So there's this friend of mine I had, who also happened to have another friend. So the friend was preparing for her marriage. So the parents came up with an idea, and the mother asked her to go to Warri, because that's where the supposed husband lives. So the mother asked her to go there so that she would get acquainted with this family that want to marry her. So she went there at the family house where the husband also lives. Husband to be, not husband. So when she got there, she said she was staying there normally, but she noticed something with this guy. That he doesn't like all this intimate connection. They don't have, this kind of heart-to-heart talk. That he's not interested. That he's just a strange person. That one day, she don't know what moved her. She was just, trying to play with the guy to seduce him, things like that. She used her the tip of her leg and touched him. Touched him when they were alone, though, not like they were in the presence of anybody. They were just alone on their own. So she just playfully touched his man, and he got angry and gave her a hot slap. She said she was shocked upon receiving that slap, that the slap left a mark, because the lady is fair. She said the slap left a hot mark on her cheeks. There and then, she ended every preparation of whatever they are doing about the marriage. She ended everything, and that was the end of that marriage. She said she told her mom that she's never going to be involved with such marriage. And she was even thanking God that she noticed it on time. So she was happy that she noticed this on time. If not, she would have been in a dead relationship with this guy. So intimacy is very, intimate connection, physical contact, intimate contact with each other is very important. It keeps the marriage, keep the fire in both of you burning, burning with love. And lack of intimacy crash marriage. Now, assuming this lady ignored this reaction from the supposed husband to be and went ahead with the marriage, imagine what the marriage would have turned out to be. It would have also crashed. We would have also called it a failed marriage. So intimacy is very important in a marriage, in a relationship, and lack of it, lack of intimacy, lack of not being physically connected with each other can also crash marriage. The next one, which is the fifth one, is finance. You may think that, lack of finance is the problem here, but no. Lack of finance is not the problem. Rather, it is financial incompatibility of the couple that is a problem. Financial incompatibility. Yes. Have you ever seen two couples with opposite attitudes and behavior towards money? When it comes to money, when it comes to income, when it comes to expenses, when it comes to saving, they have different values on that. They have different values and attitude. That is financial incompatibility. One person will like, saving, while the other one will like spending. The husband may like saving up, the wife likes spending, even spending unnecessarily. The husband may believe in future, saving for the future, preparing for the future, while the wife she believes in the present. Please let us just do this thing and move on. Tomorrow will think for itself. Yeah, there are couples like that. Then the other one will believe in saving up for wants, saving up to provide the family's wants, while the other person, we see no problem with living on credits. These two persons are opposites. So oftentimes they disagree with each other. And when it usually occurs like this, it causes chaos in the family. It causes disagreement, it causes disapproval, which oftentimes leads to conflict. And before you know it, the marriage will crash because of their financial incompatibility. The sixth reason why most marriages fail is not having shared interest in priority. What am I talking about here? I always preach that couples should carry each other along. It is very important that couple carry each other along in the family. You should always have a shared interest, have a shared priority. Whatever you're doing, make sure you involve your partner together. Now, when you share your interest, it will help both of you to explore them together and also create a support for each other in terms of need. But if you leave your wife or make her oblivious of whatever you have, whatever your priority is, it will cause problem. Oftentimes, she may tend to neglect. You will think that she's neglecting the challenges you're passing through. That's because you've not carried her along. You don't carry her along. She doesn't know anything about your affairs. She doesn't know about anything about your priority. Let me take, for instance, if you're a businessman and you're embarking on a project that will benefit the family, a project that ordinarily your wife inputs will go a long way to help you, but rather you prefer keeping it to yourself. How do you think that woman will understand you? Maybe in a situation where you'll be having, there will be new developments. Maybe the kind of project you'll be backing with will demand you come home late, and you expect her to believe you. You expect her to just welcome you with her open arms without asking questions. That is because you have not shared your business with her. You've not shared your interests, your priority with her. You've not shared. You always have to involve each other in everything you do. Let your partner know what you're doing, so that when you're facing challenge or when there's problem, both of you can put your head together and think of a solution to solve that problem. I don't know if I've explained this better, but there are a lot of instances you can give, to explain this. But the most important thing is that both of you should share in your vision. Whatever vision you have, make sure you tell your spouse about it. Tell her about it. Tell him about it. It will create a kind of support system for you. Remember, two heads are better than one. Whatever both of you plan together, we work out together. The seventh reason why most of my marriages fail is when you are lost in your role. When you are lost in your role. What do I mean by this? Now, you are married, you've started having children. Now you've taken up your responsibility as a mother, you've taken up your responsibility as a father, you're taking up your responsibility as a nursing mother, you're nursing your children, training them, struggling to give them quality life. And along the journey, both of you forget that you are husband and wife. What it means is that both of you are lost in the role of being a mother. You have lost your relationship in playing the role of being a father. You have lost your relationship in playing the role of being a breadwinner, a provider, and all that. And you wouldn't know this, but you would have gone far by the time you have, giving your children the quality life they need, then one day you ask yourself, oh my God, what am I doing with this man? How did I end up with him? Because you will now see yourself as a strange person because of that intimacy that were not there when you were trying to build up your family. So this, when you lost in your role because of your too much commitment to meeting the family's needs, can, you know, make both of you to go further apart. That is, you have allowed your children, you have allowed every other thing, you're making money to come in between the two of you. Remember that God says, whatever God joins together, no man shall put asunder. Both of you should come first in everything you're doing. Don't lose your face before your husband because you are taking care of your children, you're nursing your children and all that. Both of you always need to stay connected with each other. Another reason why most marriages fail is overdependency. Overdependency. You are depending on your spouse for everything. You don't have choice of your own anymore. You've long forgotten the kind of food you like eating. You've long forgotten the kind of music you like playing. You've long forgotten the kind of clothes you like wearing because you are overdependent on your spouse. And when you're overdependent, at some time it will make you to start looking like a fool in a marriage. You will lose all your value because your spouse will always see you that you cannot do without him or you cannot do without her. You are depending on him for everything. Must I be involved in everything? Must I be the one to tell you what to eat? Must I be the one to do? You start looking like a fool. And when you start doing that, you lose all the respect you have. So whatever be the case, you should always value yourself. Always value your interest. Yes, I know both of you will share interest together. But there's something we call personal interest. Personal interest that will not cause harm to anybody. Your personal choice. You should have your choice of your own. It brings respect. You should have your own fashion sense. It will bring respect. You should always try to buy clothes for yourself. Don't always depend on your husband to buy clothes for you or choose what to wear for you. Always, think of something for yourself. It will show respect because both of you need each other. Sometimes this person should give you suggestion. The husband can give suggestion, and sometimes the wife can give suggestion. But a situation whereby one person is depending solely on the other person, that marriage will be boring. And before you know it, one of you will be fed up. You will be so irritated with the whole thing, and it will cause problem between the two of you. And once there is problem in marriage, the marriage is failing. The last but not the least of the major reasons why marriages fail is poor conflict resolution. How are you able to resolve conflict in your home? Disagreements is inevitable in every relationship. Disagreement is inevitable in every marriage. But how are you able to, tackle that disagreement? How are you able to manage it? As a couple, you should always set it as a limit, a boundary amidst your disagreements. Set the limits that ensures that both of you are heard and also respected. Your disagreement should not be the such that will lead to physical abuse, exchange of blow, exchange of verbal abuse and all that. Once this kind of thing happens, there won't be any resolution. It will be difficult to resolve your conflict. So your disagreement should be such that when you disagree, it is your right to air your disagreements, air your disapproval, but in a respectful way. Both of you should not dare each other, but both of you should learn to resolve your disagreements in a very respectful way. If anybody ever tells you that they don't face any disagreement in their marriage or in their home, that couple or those couple are lying through their teeth. Mark my words. Disagreement is inevitable. You can't dodge it. It will surely come. But learn a way. One of you should either learn a way to resolve conflicts without physical abuse. When it leads to physical abuse, you know what it means. Automatic failure, marriage failure, which can lead to divorce or separation. Now, are you married or are you single? You're still searching. All these reasons, all these points are what you should consider. Think about them, reflect on them, analyze them, and think of possible way that you can solve such problem when you're faced with them in your marriage. And when you're going into marriage, don't think that marriage is a bed of roses, that you will not face any challenges. If you're already dating your spouse, know that challenges are bound to happen. But how you solve them will save you from having a failed marriage. And also remember that communication is the key. In all these points that I've listed, all these reasons, I can cap it all with communication problem. When there's communication problem, all these things are bound to occur. So to encapsulate all I've said so far in few words, I'll say that communication problem is the major reason for every failed marriage. Communication problem and the effects are the major reasons for failed marriage. Lack of communication will lead to resentment. Lack of communication will lead to unforgiveness. Lack of communication will lead to hatred. Lack of communication will lead to constant disagreements and lack of resolving conflict. Lack of communication will lead to financial challenge in the home, and all these things, captioned together, will lead to failed marriage. They will all lead to divorce. I hope you've gained something from this video so far. Please, if you have anybody who is facing marital challenge, you can do them good by sharing this video, and you can also do me good by sharing this video, help me make this video go viral. You can share the video, let people get to see this. And also, if you find this video interesting, you can consider clicking on the subscription button, and please subscribe to the channel, and like the video, and probably share. You don't know who you might be helping with this video, and I would also like to see you watch my next video. Stay tuned. I'll be sending more interesting topics, juicy topic on marriage affairs that will help me and us, that will help you and your family, that will help you in saving your marriage, that will also help you to know that you're not alone. This kind of thing happens real. It happens to a lot of persons. So it will help you to find a way of solving this problem rather than quitting your marriage. Marriage is very sweet. Marriage is very, very interesting, very enjoyable. That is, if both of you learn how to manage your communication at home. If two of you as a couple learn how to, tolerate each other, learn how to express your feeling in a respectful way, in a way that you will be heard, in a way that will make your spouse or partner to reflect on whatever you have said and try to take correction. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.